The hook of your YouTube video is the opening statement of your video. And the purpose of your hook is to literally hook the viewer's attention, to get them to stop scrolling and become interested in the value that your video provides. In fact, your hook is the most important part of your video, because if they don't like the hook, they're gonna X out of your video like a little bitch. Take a look at this view duration chart from YouTube Analytics. You can see that in the first 30 seconds, there's a huge drop off of viewers before the video stabilizes. So imagine if we could decrease this drop off by 50%, your average view duration would skyrocket. So how do you write a good hook for your YouTube channel that captures the viewer's attention, but also one that doesn't take a ton of time to write out? Well, in this series, I'm gonna share with you a variety of hook templates or hook frameworks that you can copy and paste in your future videos and experiment with. A hook that works for you may not work for someone else. So let's get started today with my most popular 5-part hook frame template. So I've created a visual for this. Let's take a look. Let's start with an overview of how we're gonna write this hook. It starts with a reframing of the title, and then you move into step 2, which is pain points. Step 3 is in today's video. Step 4 is pleasure points. And step 5 is the end hook. And this is something that everyone should be teaching, but I find that no one is teaching. And so I think you're gonna like what you have here. Let's go back and let's start with number 1, which is reframe the title. Okay, so let's imagine the journey of the customer. First of all, the customer either went to Google, went to YouTube and searched for something, found a video and clicked play. That's one journey. Or the viewer was already on YouTube and they saw your thumbnail on the homepage or on the sidebar or wherever, and they clicked on it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna reframe the title in a way that causes the viewer to say, this is what I wanted to watch. This is not clickbait. You could ask a question. You want to use some of the same verbiage that's in the YouTube title or on the thumbnail so that they go, yes, that is what I clicked on, okay? Number 2 is you're gonna go into pain points, okay? Immediately with pain points, you are going to relate to the viewer. And I talk about this a lot in my workshop, the YouTube Visibility Workshop, where we review the great video formula on what to say in every video so that you never forget it. You can actually download that for free. It's a graphic in the description box below. So your goal here is to understand the problem that the viewer wants to solve and to try to restate their problem to them better than they could even explain themselves. And again, you want them going, yeah, dude, that's me. I've got a house, right? So how do you open up this section? Here's some tips. Number 1, let's go to a chiropractor video. So you're doing a back pain video, right? So you open up your video with like restate the title. Like, do you want to get rid of your back pain without having to get surgery? Maybe this sounds familiar to you. You get out of a chair and you hurt. You get into your car and you hurt, et cetera, et cetera. So does this sound familiar? And then explain to them in ways that they would absolutely, like that's what their life looks like. Maybe you've experienced blank. That's another one. You probably feel tired, weary, worn out, listless.
Do you poop out at parties?
Relate to them on how they're feeling, and then transition into part 3, which is in today's video. And that's all you say. This is really like a connector between parts 1 and 2 and parts 4 and 5. So you're kind of opening up by reframing the title and then going into pain points, right? Like, are you waking up with back pain every single day? You probably feel pain coming out of the bed. You probably feel pain sitting in your car. And you're thinking to yourself, I want this pain to end, but I don't want surgery. Well, in today's video, okay, and then we're gonna move into section 4, which is your pleasure points. We also call this the after state. And this is such an important part of video psychology as it is. I mean, take a look at the screen right now. Let's pretend that number 3, the before state, is the state of pain or discomfort that the viewer is in before they watch your video. And the after state is the state of happiness and joy that your viewer is in once they've discovered your solution. Your video needs to be the bridge between those two things. So in the opening of your hook, you say, hey, here's how you're feeling. You feel miserable and dirty and filthy and you're beastly and horrible and no one likes you. And then you're like, well, in today's video, and you go into point number 4, which is the pleasure points. Talk to them about the benefits you're going to get, not the content you're going to cover. That's huge. You're not going to go into like, so in today's video, I'm going to show you how to like do this and do that and da-da-da-da. Especially don't really talk too much about details, because they will make a moral judgment on whether or not they need that, right? So let's pretend that you're a real estate investor and you're going to go, so today, I'm going to show you how to use infinite banking to finance your next apartment purchase. Here's what you've done there. You've mentioned the word infinite banking, and now I'm going to make a moral decision on whether I need infinite banking to get to my after state. I may have already heard of that and gone, nah, it's not for me. Dave Ramsey says not for me. So focus on the benefits that they will get from that process, right? So let's use that same, apartment syndication analogy where you've got an investor who goes like, are you tired of being like broke and poor and like working for the man and like you just can't seem to get ahead? Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to build up an interest-bearing account in a 99% passive environment so that you can become a real estate investor living off of your interest by using a process that you've probably never heard of before. Let's get started. I'm Owen Video, right? And that's your end hook. Okay, and we'll get to that in a quick second. So in the pleasure points, I want you to focus on the benefits. Now, you could say apartment investing because it's probably in the title anyway. You have to be like super vague, but I just try to avoid telling them the technique, right? If I was a graphic designer, I might say like, let me show you how to design X without saying using Canva or using blah, blah, blah. I'd probably say something like using a tool that I've never used before, and then show them that it's Canva. Because here's why, like there's a whole bunch of people that might be like, Canva sucks. There's probably a whole bunch of people that are like, I want Canva tutorials. And so you really have to look at like, what words are you using and are they helpful for you? Which is why you should watch, my whole series, by the way, on how to create hooks. We have a whole bunch of like hook templates and hook frames and really just copying those and seeing how they feel. Okay, finally, your end hook. Your end hook is, let's get started. I'm Owen Video, or let's get started. It's the Garbage Pail Kids, or like you got to have like your opening sort of radio voice statement. And I don't think that this is true if you're like a creator channel, you know what I mean? But I think if you're a business channel, it's important to like say what your name is. And what we do is we have an entire sort of like framework for that, for how to do an intro statement and a value statement. Like, should you ask them to subscribe and follow? Like, I got some varying feelings on that. I will cover that in the next video. So I hope that you found this 5-point structure extremely valuable for you. Watch the next video that's on your screen now, and I'll talk more about the end hook there and how to really build out a value statement. Plus, you can check out the entire playlist on how to write a hook and just kind of jump around as you want. Don't forget, though, to subscribe to the channel, Beast, and I'll see you next time.